Hey y'all, it's your buddy 16-Bit Gambit, and I'm coming to you with another video. So in this video, I'm going to treat this as a part 2 to character scripting, and what I'm going to accomplish in this video is we'll add a power attack animation, we will drain stamina when running or attacking, we will add the power attack functionality when the power bar fills up all the way, and also we'll create a cooldown functionality, so if you overuse your stamina you'll have to wait a few seconds in order to be able to run or attack again. And then also we're going to update the player readout so that you can tell whether or not you've got the power attack or whether you've got cooldown in effect. When I did a practice run on this one, it took me a couple hours. I think I can shrink it down to about hopefully 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and dive in. Step 1, we'll go ahead and add the new animation. So I'm going to go back to the player and I'm going to select attack right. I'm going to scroll in to expand it a little bit. I'm going to do animation, duplicate, and I'm going to change this name to power underscore attack right. I'm going to change the animation play length to 0.55 and I'm going to add a few additional frames. But first, I'm going to go ahead and take these other items and snap them further down to give myself a bit more time. So, I'm going to click on the sprite that I'm using to show the attack animation frames, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to click over here and unlock the the next attack animation. So lock that. I'm going to shift this one over just so that the attack lasts a little bit longer and you got a little bit more time, 2 clicks for the collision shape to be active. So clicking over again, clicking on the sprite, little pause, and then last animation, one more click over and we'll go back down to this one. Cool. And I'm going to click up on the collision shape, and at the second attack I'm going to turn off disabled. At the end of the second attack I'm going to turn disabled back on. Third attack, turn off disabled, and we're going to end with disabled back on. Okay, I'm going to press play real quick from the beginning. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go to animation, duplicate, and I'm going to change the name to power attack left. I'm going to click OK, and at the very beginning I'm going to click on the sprite. I'm going to turn on flip H from the very beginning. And I'm going to go to the collision shape and then set the offset once again to -12. Now I'm going to lock that position, and then I'm going to go to the sprite real quick and set this one to Control C, whoops. Go to the transform position and set it to -8. I'm going to lock that one and press play real quick. So that's power attack left. Sprite, flip H is on. Press play again. Flip H, lock. And I'm going to delete that key. So let's try this again. Alright, human error. No harm, no foul. I'm going to play power attack right. I'm going to hit idle left, idle right. All good. Cool. I'm going to hit save. And in order to have a cooldown timer real quick, I'm going to click on the top of my table of contents, or the scene tree. I'm going to do plus. And I'm just going to add a regular timer. I'm going to set this wait time to 3. I'm going to make sure that it's not on auto start. Okay, Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to shift around and update some of the variables. So I'm going to click on the character script. And real quick, I'm going to slow down the walking speed so it's a bit more of a pain whenever you're not able to run. So walking speed, I dropped it from 200 to 100, and acceleration for walk, I dropped it from 600 down to 300. So it's going to be noticeable whenever we're walking. Next, I'm going to go back to these input flags. I'm going to put a little bit of a gap between those jump numbers for now and these booleans. So move left, move right, jump, run, attack, power attack. Check on my script real quick. Jump, run, attack, power attack, and we're going to create a new variable. Cooldown, setting it by default equal to false. Okay. Also, we're going to go ahead and we're going to define that timer as the, or if I could spell, cooldown timer equals this dude right here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and minimize these new functions that I did in the last video. And you see under the function process, every time function runs, it does handle input and state machine. So for now, I'm going to put all my edits underneath handle input. At a later date, or if I get some good advice, that could go somewhere else. It seems like this isn't perfect, but it works well enough for now. So I'm going to isolate run and attack. Move left, move right, jump. Those are all perfectly okay. Going to leave those ones as is. First one I'm going to edit is going to be run. So in place of just that line that says run, I'm going to paste on top of it if stamina is greater than 0 and run is being pressed, run is true, or run is equal to the input. And then stamina, every tick of process is going to be minus 0.1. Otherwise, run is false. So what that's doing is that's stopping me from running if I don't have stamina. Next, I'm going to go edit attack. And the edit to this line is going to be if stamina is greater than 0 and we're pressing attack, then the attack input is going to be acknowledged. Otherwise, attack equals false. Okay. Next, if we're out of a cooldown state, we're going to be recovering stamina at 0.1 every tick. So if cooldown equals false, nested inside of that if statement is if attack is false and run is false, and stamina is less than max stamina. Let me update that real quick. Stamina plus 0.1. So if we're not running and we're not attacking and our stamina is not at the max value, stamina plus equals 0.1. All right. And so those ones are good. Moving on. I'm going to add the statement that's going to initialize the cooldown timer. So if stamina is less than or equal 0 and cooldown timer is stopped, stamina equals 0. And I'm just putting that one there so if you end up doing something that takes a chunk of stamina out, instead of going far negative and making the cooldown last longer than I want it to, we're just going to set it so that it's increasing from 0. Stamina equals 0. Cooldown timer dot start. And then this is just one of my check values right here. Print cooldown timer started. And then cooldown equals true. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, I guess I'll leave this one here for now. I guess we're going to one-shot it as opposed to going iteratively. So what this is right here, I'm going to go back and discuss it once I add it over on the display node, is I created a function that will accept cooldown and power attack as a true and a false. And then format some of the items so that you know if you're in a cooldown or if you have power attack enabled. Okay? So, next. we've got at the very end of all this stuff running, we've got display.update bars. And the reason why I got this one right here is every time this function runs, there's a chance for stamina to end up changing. Other things happen as well. So this is going to give you pretty good granularity with very often those bars are going to be updated. Not the perfect place for a professional programmer, but for me this works for what I'm trying to accomplish. Alright. Next, we're going to go down to the attack states. And the first edit we're going to do down here is current state equals attack. If currently attacking equals false and power attack equals true, then we're going to default to doing the power attack. So currently attacking equals true. And power attack equals false. And because we've got a change between power attack, or for the power attack value, we're going to be setting it back down to false, we'll update the display to receive the information to change the formatting so that at a glance on the screen, you'll know that you can no longer do your power attack. Also, just getting a little bit of space right here, because what we're doing to know when we're going to do a power attack is once your power value is equal to your max power, we're going to set power back down to 0. And just as a little bonus for the player, once you do the power attack, we'll give you a little stamina bump so that you don't use a power attack and then leave yourself exposed. Also, if stamina is greater than max stamina, stamina equals max stamina. So if you use a power attack when your stamina bar is almost all the way filled up, instead of giving you more than the bar can display on the screen, we're just going to say, okay, the stamina is equal to the max stamina value. So if you're at 90 and your max stamina is 100 and you use a power attack, they'll put you at 110 ever so briefly, but they'll knock you back down to 100. Alright? And for regular attacks, I would like to go ahead and charge the player 20 stamina whenever they're doing that attack. So, power attack, a little bit of a bonus for someone that's been able to knock off 5 regular attacks. For a regular attack, that's going to cost you 20 stamina, and the reason why I'm putting it here is I only want it to occur once, and this code only happens once because of the currently attacking statement right there. If I was to put this up here, I'd probably have to add, I guess I could put it up here, because if currently attacking equals false, then you do it. I wish I was better at this, but it's still going to work, it's just not going to be pretty. So I'm going to scroll back down here to the attacks. And the last item we're going to add is the bump up to your power value. So, if you successfully hit an enemy, power plus equals 1. Also, later on, right now this code is not needed, but later on if I give myself my own power button for power attack, then I'll need something that says if power equals max power. I got ahead of myself. If power equals max power, power attack equals true, and then update the icons once again. So the purpose for this statement once again is because the state or the status of power attack has changed. So we're going to change the display to acknowledge or change colors on those items. I got a bit ahead of myself. I'm thinking at some point I might add a power attack button so that in this case, if you keep adding power numbers or iterations, It'll allow you, very similar to stamina, not to exceed your maximum power. So, real quick, I'm going to go back to the top, and because this is adding stamina at less than an integer, I'm going to change stamina up here to a float. So cooldown, real quick, control find, cool down. So if cooldown equals false, then do this stuff. 6 occurrences. Cooldown equals true, update display. Cooldown, power attack, ignore that. And then the last one real quick is I'm going to connect the timer signal. So when the signal or the timer gets fired, we're going to go to the node, and when it times out, it's going to communicate to the player. Once the timer is done running, cooldown equals false, and then because cooldown's value changes, I'm going to hit display update icons. I'm going to hit save to that one quick. And now I'm going to make a few updates to the map display node to bring this all together. So I'm going to go over here to the map display node, and I'm going to take a look at it in 2D real quick. So if I run this, it's going to be super small, but for the sake of demonstrating this example before I run this stuff overall, I'm going to go to scale. I'm going to set it to 5 for now. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of house cleaning real quick. I'm going to go to the 9 patch rect. I'm going to just put it in line with that existing character icon. I'm going to select all those progress bars, go layout, and minimum size. I'm going to set those all to 3, and then I'm going to click on the label, and I'm going to shrink this dude down to fit onto that 9 patch rect. I'm going to shrink those bars real quick. Click. And I'm going to shrink this one down just a little bit more because I don't like it. That's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to go 9 patch rect, and I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit. I'm going to add a new label. And on the side there, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go to theme overrides, font sizes. I'm going to turn on font size, set it to 9, and I'm going to mess with the scale so that it fits inside of here for now. So layout, transform, scale is going to be 0.55. 0.6, 0.64, all right, cool, or at least good enough for now. I'm going to add 3 more sprites now, so I'm going to click 9 patch rect. I'm going to add sprite 2D, going to add sprite 2D, going to add sprite 2D. Now I'm going to go to my bag of pre-existing sprites that I've got here ready to go for this project. So battle status icons. For the top sprite, I'm going to use my attack icon. For the second sprite, I'm going to use my jump icon. And then for my third sprite, I'm going to use my running guy. So transform 0.5, transform 0.5, transform. I think my shoe is a little bit too small, so I'm going to set this one at 0.6 and then see what's up. I'm going to click that attack sprite. I'm going to drag it over to line up on the 1. Now I'm going to click on the feather sprite, which shows jump. I'm going to line it up on the 2. And I'm going to click on the run sprite. I'm going to line it up on the 3. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shrink the boundary that 9-patch rect. I'm going to hit save real quick. Then I'm going to go into the code for the map display. Now, real quick, actually what it looks like in there, I don't need to do a test run and debug because you can already see it. So I'm going to click on the script and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign, or I'm going to define as variables those 3 items. So to save a bit of time, onReady var attack status, onReady var jump status, onReady var run status. And that's those 3 sprite 2Ds that as they get added, the next one down has a 2, then a 3. And then finally, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste in a function. And what this function does is it will be called to from outside of this map display. And it will update the colors for those sprites based on whether or not you're in cooldown or whether or not power attack is enabled. So I'm going to go back to the script, and the function is called update icons, and it has default values. So if I run this thing in test mode, then cooldown it will treat as false, and power attack it will treat as false as well. So start to finish, 3 if statements. If power attack is true, the attack status will modulate itself to be kind of a red color. So this is the name of the sprite, attack underscore status. Then the functionality I'm using is dot modulate, and I'm using this one equals to the color 0.9, 0.1, 0, 1. If we're in cooldown mode, and the reason why I have it after power attack is because if we have power attack enabled, but we're in cooldown so we can't attack, then I'd rather know that I cannot currently attack than run into the middle of enemies and then not be able to attack. So if cooldown is true, even if power attack is true, I'm going to set the colors for both the run and the attack icon to both be gray. And then finally, if cooldown is false and power attack is false, then those icons are just going to return back to the regular 1111, which in this case are just going to look normal white. So I'm going to hit save real quick, and hopefully whenever I demonstrate after all this practice one, which is going to go back to map display, and I'm going to click up here and I'm going to turn off that zoom back down to 1. Cool. I'm also going to yank this one up to 3. Sorry, house cleaning. So I'm going to click back over here, and the reason why I'm clicking over to the scene is right now I have not set a main scene. So when I run one of those nodes in debug, I use this run current scene functionality over here. So it doesn't matter if I'm going to be zoomed in or not. I am currently in windowed, which I won't be able to record. So I'll go ahead, window, full screen, and hopefully it works the first time. Okay, y'all. So as you can see, we've got the updated readout. I guess there's issues. You can still tell, whether some of them are made on different size pixels. So that's something I can work on just for better visibility. But you can see that stamina is right there, and if I hold the run button, stamina starts decreasing. If I hit the attack button, stamina decreases, and if I hold the run button to drain it all the way out, you're going to see that both the sword and the shoe should change to gray. Awesome, and we got a cooldown for 3 seconds. Cooldown is over, and those are back to being the normal color. And then the last one real quick, see if that red is too aggressive. I'm going to go ahead and draw that guy's attention. Forgot that I'm going a little bit slower. And I'm going to go ahead and attack him and knock him back. Wait, attack him, knock him back, run away, and you can see that sword is red now. That means that the power attack is enabled. The only downside is that they don't line up on each other, so I guess for me it's less than intuitive, and also the one isn't red as well. There's a better way to do that one. I'll think on it a little bit, but until later, let's see if we can have end on a high note and hit this guy with a power attack to finish him off. Hey, successful power attack. So that was it for this video. So what I'd like to do is I'm sharing what I'm accomplishing along the way, and I have conflicting things that are affecting what I'm generating for you. On the one side, I know that some of you are going to YouTube and trying to find either a quick answer, or you're trying to just kind of get through the video and pause, step by step as you're working it, kind of like a work tutorial, and you're just going to take that as a template, then you're going to adjust it and make it your own. And there's a lot of videos where someone shows themselves either as they're working, or at least it appears that they're showing themselves as they're working, which is totally cool. And I could do videos like that one, but I worry that I'll kind of get stuck and then have to edit out a whole bunch of stuff, which is fine if that's what y'all prefer. So the reason why I'm bringing that one up is in this video specifically, it's like I'm pasting in the completed result, and you're not seeing the step-by-step thought process of as something is being added and solved and fixed. So I can create either the shorter, more succinct videos like this one, or I can make an effort of adding things in step-by-step to show iteratively how those functionalities are created. Or the last one is I could just record myself talking while I'm creating these functionalities. If you have a preference either way, let me know. You can leave a comment down below. So kind of wrapping up the content or the meat of this video right now. Down below, feel free to leave a comment, question, criticism, critique, or even a suggestion for how I could do stuff better. For instance, I was talking about how I didn't quite know the best way to take some of those things, maybe make them their own function or something like that. So if you got any input, share it. Otherwise, I'm going to do a couple more like little side quest videos to kind of give more to you guys, or show more of what I'd like to with this game as well. So the enemy is coming up, the double jump is coming up as well. As a matter of fact, that would play very well into this one. But the next one should be a quick side quest video, and I think it's going to look really cool. Otherwise, come over to Instagram, take a look at the concept art for this guy right here. The account is at 16_bit_gambit. So come on by. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Take care.